chapter in life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I have a recital coming up.
Okay. Classical guitar or?
Well, this is a jazz, bossa nova. It's
Okay.
Chopin's piece called Wave.
Okay.
And I'm actually playing accompanying a friend of mine who's a professional jazz pianist, and he
Really?
offered, because
That's
I've done a lot
awesome.
of nice things for him, and he's like, oh my God, I will definitely accompany you.
Okay, so this has been brewing for. Have you always played guitar?
When I was like a teenager, so it was decades ago. Yeah,
Okay.
so I knew kind of how, and I just kind of got into it recently.
Yeah, I was a jazz musician for the larger
You
part
were
of
a
my
jazz
life.
musician?
Yeah, I actually I grew
Wow.
up in Camber Heights in Queens, and I'm not sure if you spend much time in Queens, but Camber Heights, St. Albans, Springfield Gardens, uh, um, in Jamaica were very large jazz communities. Count Basie, Duke Ellington.
Oh, that's where they all came from.
That's where they all came from.
Wow,
And
so
so
cool.
all of their grandchildren were there, and all their
Oh,
grandchildren were jazz
what
musicians.
a story.
Yeah, and so growing up, Duke Ellington's grandchildren lived on my block, and they were all jazz musicians.
Jazz musicians.
And so I used to,
Hang out with
no,
them?
I used to, I was about 6 years old, and my parents got me a drum kit, and my dad, he would always have the front door open, and he'd be doing his gardening out front.
Yeah.
And this guy walks by. He must have been in his 20s at that time, but he was like, I'll give your son some drum lessons if you want, so he can learn how to play.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad would give him like $20 and a 6-pack of Heineken, and that drum lesson would last like 5 hours. And it would be like 3 times a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then.
And the guy just did it because he's a good neighbor.
Because he just
like,
make a buck here, buck there, and then by the time I was like 10, there were like lounges on the corner, so I could go sit in at these jazz clubs as like a young kid. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
You must have just
Yeah.
been
And so,
loving life.
Yeah, and so like I probably stopped playing around 30 and kind of focused more on my career, but
well, now you're 32. What do
yeah,
you do?
exactly. So what am I gonna do?
So all those years you were making money, like playing some gigs and then side jobs and
exactly.
things like that. teaching
Exactly.
maybe a little
And
bit.
then, but I was
So you're a
also,
drummer.
I'm a
or
drummer.
Percussionist.
I'm a drummer, but now I'm feeling the calling come back.
Well, how old are you now?
I'm 40. I'm going to be 49 this
So
year.
you've been out of it almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a lover or something.
Yeah,
It's
it always comes back.
Always
Whispers
with
in
you.
your ear at night.
Whispering in your ear at night. Yeah, one lost love.
It's so true.
Let's write a song, bro.
Very true.
She's coming back to me whispering in my ear at night. She's calling, and I'm coming.
That's right. It is there. So at this time of your life, since music has kind of found you again, like what was that feeling? Like to sort of revisit this sort of acquaintance again, to kind of connect.
Well, the reason I said that, because I feel like I'm falling in love. It's such a beautiful thing. It's really just, I feel so fortunate, at this stage of my life. Like I've worked, I've raised, married, raised my kids. I'm probably going to retire fairly soon. My job has always been something that I liked, okay, but it wasn't a passion. I work in finance. So to find something that I'm totally passionate about, and I'm not even a great musician. Like I don't have the kind of talent to ever be a professional musician, but I can be a decent amateur musician, and that's good enough for me. That's better than most people. So that's what it feels like to me. Just being in love with life and in love with music and the people that I meet is just a beautiful thing. A lot of things.
And when did this start up for you again?
About a year, about a year ago, I started taking lessons. I started playing around the guitar about 2 years ago, because every time I would go to Costa Rica with my husband, his parents were sick, so we would go a lot to take care of them. And they had a guitar there, and there's nothing to do, just pick it up. They didn't have great cable. And what a beautiful thing, right? That's what happens when you don't have internet connection. You find other things to do.
Yeah.
other creative outlets.
Your insides kind of search for the thing that
Yeah,
moves
so
you.
I picked up the guitar, just started playing, found YouTube, and wow, YouTube lessons, great, you know. And then I realized I needed help. Like some people can just be self-taught, but I couldn't.
And your did your smile journey take place during the same time period?
Um, I hadn't really thought about it. But yes, I think I completed with Dr. Tabib. Where are we now? I can't even, it all becomes a blur. I want to say I probably finished with him about, hold on. Yeah, it has to be about a year and a half ago, maybe, or a year ago. And because there's this picture of at a birthday party, I remember looking at my smile and thinking how beautiful that smile is. And, so to make the connection to, like, my love of music and just feeling good about myself, having this work done has been, it's hard to put words to it because I feel so confident about my smile. I feel beautiful with my smile. And it's, at first, like when he told me, oh, it's like $100,000 or whatever to do this, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's worth every penny. Like, I thank God every day. Like, every day I wake up and look at my smile, and I love it. I'm in love with my smile.
That's awesome. That's such a great feeling. Are And so you have music finding you around 2 years ago, back again, right?
Yeah, and more intensely in about a year ago.
Yeah, and exploring that deeply,
Yeah.
right? Which has a huge connection to self, right?
And to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your smile journey kicks in around the same time, right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole process, not just an outward process, but an inward connection to self also.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, are there, did you have thoughts about your smile all these years in finance, before music, before this time, where you had certain thoughts and feelings about your smile? Because life throws a lot of things at us.
I think that when I was young, I had, I don't know what the condition is called, but like you have it's very small teeth and a lot of separate spaces, and it was just very unattractive. And so finally I got braces. The braces didn't hold. Then finally they did some bonding, and the bonding wasn't great. And then also I had inherited a kind of weak teeth, so I had a lot of implants early on. And so when the first doctor that looked at me said, you really need to do reconstruction because we can't do braces because of the implants. We need to sort of come at this from another angle. At that point, I people always told me, like, oh, you have a beautiful smile. But I never felt confident about it because of the teeth. They were tiny, they were small, they were, like I had the bonding. I mean, I knew all the imperfections that were there. And so when the first doctor that I went to did a mock-up, and I saw how nice it looked, I thought, wow, this is kind of transformative. And then I went to Dr. Tabib because I just wanted a second opinion. And we were only going to do partial, then we went back and forth, and he kind of convinced me, like, you really need to invest. If you have the money and you can make the investment, you really need to do the full treatment. And it was a long decision. It took several years to come to. It was probably 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago that I first started getting the mock-up. Um, so I'm trying to remember your question just about my smile and being in finance. So I always wanted it, I was always a little self-conscious about it. It was a little bit of a gummy smile. The teeth weren't great, they were small. And so I was always a little bit self-conscious about it.
And when you look in the mirror now, what are the thoughts that you can recall that come up for you when you wake up in the morning now?
You mean post-treatment?
Yeah, post-treatment.
Oh, I feel beautiful with my smile. And that's a really important thing as you age. Because getting older is hard. And you're not there yet. You're not even 50 yet. And when you're 50, you still feel like you're, 40, and you still look pretty good too. But as the years go on, no matter what you do, like the body starts to kind of fall apart, and time catches up with you no matter what. And, so aging, well is important to me. Taking care of myself, I work out. And so this is kind of just part of that, helping me, age gracefully.
Has there always been this connection with investing in self for you?
Oh, definitely. Well, in New York, therapy, everybody does therapy. So whether it's therapy, eating well, working out, dressing nicely. Sure, yeah. But I think going back to that thing about, especially for women, it's hard to age. It's hard to look older. I mean, that's why women color their hair, and put makeup on and get facelifts and, do all this stuff because it's hard to get older. It's hard to lose, it's a hard thing to go through to use that youthful beauty that you once had and to accept yourself and your new self, your new older self. And there's a song that I wrote, and it's a little bit about getting older and relationships, and there's this one line that says, my body's getting older, let's see what, my body's feeling older, the mirror sees the changes, I know that I'm wiser, but I still feel so afraid. And kind of bringing back to the smile, like what do I see when I get up in the morning, like, and, get myself together, I love my teeth, I love my smile.
How do you sing that verse?
I don't have the best voice, but let me see if I can get on tune. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. My body's feeling older and the mirror sees the changes. I know that I'm wiser, but I'm still feeling afraid. Something like that. That's not it, but it's close enough. Don't put the singing part in.
I think that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm curious though. One last thing. It seems like I really love the how there's different moments in life where you dig in to connect with things that are living inside there, right?
Right.
And sometimes it's very easy to go 40 years through a career focusing on the thing that might make money or other things, and all the while there are these things inside whispering at you, sometimes silent, sometimes loud,
Yeah.
And I just, are there other things that speak to you that you're noticing that want to come alive as you're moving into these next phases of life?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you
Oh!
That we can do. That we can do over a drink at a jazz club. But
awesome.
yeah, so I think that's true. Like I'm listening to Barbara Streisand's autobiography now, and there's this one line she quotes somebody else, and I don't know who it is, but it's this quote about once you commit to something, the universe kind of conspires to support you. And so I'm actually with some musician friends of mine, we're putting on a house show soon, and with all these jazz musicians coming, inviting my friends just to like create a community to support musicians. And and my husband and I and another friend of mine are sponsoring. We're paying for everything. Like just come, and then people can donate for the next show. And we're trying to like get this thing going. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Keep moving it forward.
Moving it forward.
Thank you
Okay,
so
guys.
much for
Thanks
that.
so much.
Yeah, pleasure. That was awesome.
Thanks, Peter.
You
Thank
want
you.
your-
Thank you.